Hey, Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome back to playing Civ 6 as France, where we have been invaded by the Gauls. This actually represents a bit of a problem for us because they got bombards, they got pretty heavy hitting units, and we don't have particularly good defenses. So we need to come up with an answer to this. We do not have many options. Now, one option we do have is to try to get people to declare war on the Gauls. So for example, if we could get Russia to join in a war against Ambiorix, and sometimes the AI will take just like 1 gold, but in this case, he's going to be like, yo, you need to give me all this stuff, but I don't know if I want to pay that much. He is kind of adjacent to him, but he's not adjacent to him the way that I want him to be. Now, Greece here could be, very useful. I'm worried about my cities. I have a courser that I can zip around to do work with. I'm very worried about Lyon getting ganked here. So I'll keep you in Paris for now. One problem is we don't actually have that much production. Archers are really good defensive units, so in any of my cities that have like a decent amount of production, I will queue up some archers because they will get turned into crossbowmen. I am going to take out veterancy and I will instead plug in feudal contract, which will allow us to build up our military a little bit faster. I'll start building walls in my forward cities. These 3 cities are the ones that are most under threat. I don't need walls pretty much anywhere else. Nantes does need this shipyard, but I could use a few archers and a few pikemen, and I think we can hold most things. So I'm just going to queue up sort of a round of military units across my empire. Mixture of pikemen, a mixture of archers, stuff like that. Except for in Dijon. Dijon's really far away and it has really low production, so I'm just going to leave that as is. But the hope is, they don't do too much damage before we can get units out. And maybe I'll be able to get a pillage off on this iron with a warrior over here. So it looks like they might be setting up for attacking Bordeaux, and I can get a cavalry unit in here. I can get a courser in here to give it a little bit more combat strength on the defense. And I am moving some relatively well promoted archers towards the front line. So things aren't looking too bad for me. I will promote this archer with combat strength in districts, and we will chill for now. Come on, get that iron mine. You can pillage that. I know you can. He wants open borders from me. I don't fully understand what you want. Okay, Bordeaux took a hit. There's machinery, so we'll have a wave of crossbowmen coming out now. Now, I didn't see where that knight went, but I assume he's deep in my territory, slaughtering my things. Let's pop into our government, and I'm going to pop in professional army so I can upgrade my units cheaper. This will let me actually get a crossbowman here. We're gonna lose some infrastructure due to this attack, but that's okay. We got crossbowmen. It sucks that we had to do that. I would love to be getting Niter. I was building an aqueduct. I will put the time into cartography. It's 3 turns for +2 gold for my fishing boats. I have a decent number of fishing boats. Also, some of them need to be repaired. That's fine. In terms of civics, I am going to go ahead and finish diplomatic service. I wanted double adjacency on my harbors, but we're a little bit locked into a war right now. I'm going to go ahead and take suzerainty of Muscat because I like the +1 amenity from commercial hubs. And I will begin fighting for Zanzibar in the near future. Well, we can get a pillage off. That's enough gold to upgrade a crossbowman, which will get us metal casting for field cannons. Metal casting is, of course, the technology for the for bombards and pike and shot. Sorry, field cannons is the tech afterwards that you boost with forts. My Civ muscle memory kicked in incorrectly there. Yeah, Bordeaux is getting smashed and we are losing traders, which I'm very, very upset about. I just lost 2 to 3 traders in a single turn. Diplomatic service will be useful when we can get around to actually making use of it. We are getting our walls up, which is going to allow us to plonk away at some of these units. The most important thing is to always try to get kills. Death is the strongest crowd control. Okay, remember that statement. Death is the strongest crowd control. Units cannot act if they are dead. I'll pop out professional army and I'm going to go ahead and pop in feudal contract again. I'll make these units finish faster. La Rochelle should probably try to finish its aqueduct now. We built defensive buildings over there. I will grab my chateau. It is a potentially useful building in culture, which could help us get quite a bit of military technology advancement. There's not really safe pillages up here, so I'm just going to pull my warrior back. Yeah, there's too many things that can shoot over here, so I'll just pull my warrior back. You pop up there. Bordeaux is getting smashed, so we need to move in on it really, really quickly. Most important thing is to kill the bombards, as they are the thing currently doing the most damage. We got ancient walls in Rouen. Let's continue to work on the stable in there. We got the aqueduct in La Rochelle. There's a few unimproved tiles, but that's not important. What we want is to get stuff like a market for the gold. Currently our markets are worth 4 gold per turn, which is a very, very high value market, especially because they also give you trade routes. Yeah, I don't like how hard they're hitting the city. So we need to kill the melee units. If the melee units are dead, they can't capture the city. That's an important piece of knowledge. And we need to get as much damage onto this pike and shot as possible. I can't capture the city. The melee units are dead. Mission accomplished. And we have more crossbowmen on the way. And boys can... Oh, actually, there is a pretty decent aqueduct right there because aqueducts benefit from being adjacent to a geothermal fissure with +1 amenity. So I will plop you right there. And then that actually makes this a pretty okay industrial zone because in theory we could put lumber mills around it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know if that's what we want to do right now, but I will grab myself a library or two. In the meantime, I'm going to grab stirrups for pasture improvements and then military engineering for niter. I would consider that we have successfully defended ourselves in this war. We just need to deal with this pike and shot. If the pike and shot dies, we win. So 1, 2, 3, boom. Mission accomplished. Pike and shot was dead. It cost us a single crossbowman. And we can almost kill this bombard. And we ended up with a fairly large army. A reasonably large army that should form the foundations of a conquest force later in the game. But yeah, if this is a player, they would have a galley in the sea to go pillage my city. Pasture improvements get +1 food. That's a great advantage. Thanks to the feudalism civic, we can claim a great person. Yi Sun Sin is a great admiral. They create ironclads and also give you access to early coal. +2 aero score for the ironclad creation. Ironclads can cross the ocean, and we also just got caravel tech, so that's fabulous. Looks like they forward settled Mycenae here. That's okay. Not much I can do about that. We are in a golden age, and the 2 arms golden age actually ended up being really useful. I think we can send our military units to go occupy cities for amenities now that the war is over. I say the war is over. I mean, he's still coming. You know, he didn't hear no bell. They want an inspiration for the Enlightenment, which is earning 3 great people. I don't remember how many I've taken, actually. Let's send this ironclad straight to the left and loop back and forth. We are trying to steal from Greece. I think the natural thing to do is to do a listening post, increase the success. Sorry, that's the wrong one. We already did the thing that increases success chance, didn't we? Oh, a barbarian bombard. How quaint. All right. Lost another crossbowman, but it was in exchange for a cuirassier, which I would call a fair trade. More crossbowmen have finished. Rouen built a stable. No point in us building these anymore because the religion that we wanted got eradicated. God damn. Holy Site encampment. It's a 13 production city with low population room. Decent appeal over here for a preserve. We're not too far away from conservation on a strategic level. Let's finish the intelligence agency in the capital. Although we kind of want some other stuff as well in here. I'm going to get Rouen to build me some traders. We lost a lot of traders to that war, which is very painful for our sim. I'll send a caravel up and down to search the coast. In Athens, we are going to steal tech. It's a 74% chance of succeeding, 21% chance of failure, 5% chance of death. So very hopeful that we can steal some tech. There's military engineering. We now have access to the armory for the extra 25% combat strength to all land units trained in the city, as well as to 3 production. The military engineer is useful if you want to build roads and or railroads, forts, airstrips, missile silos, mountain tunnels, all those beautiful things. We can also rush canals, dams, or aqueducts, or flood barriers. Niter is quite useful, as are trebuchets. Niter will allow us, if we do find it. It looks like our city was settled on some niter. And this holy site was settled on some niter, so we should have access to niter immediately. We'll sell off some of these luxuries, see what strategics people are buying. Make sure we purchase all of the luxury resources we can to keep amenities high. It would be really nice to start building banks for the +5 gold per turn. Library in Amboise is done. These were set up specifically as science cities, so I will get myself a little bit of tech to try and push. That to me seems quite worth it. And we're having a very satisfying game right now. I would like stealing techs to be operated at a higher level, so I'll put everything I can into that. And then if it would be cool if great admirals were boosted. Although I imagine the AI will ban great admirals because no one else is earning any. Oh, great musicians were banned. It looks like tech boost is boosted. There is humanism. This gives us access to some interesting policies as well as better theatre square buildings and the chateau. But the chateau is quite unique and quite interesting, right? It's +2 culture, +1 gold. It also gives appeal and it gets +1 culture for every adjacent wonder, which does become +2 after flight. And it gets +2 gold if it's on a tile containing a river edge. So this is a great way for us to push gold and culture, which can be particularly useful for a militaristic game. Unfortunately, when you play on this high level of a difficulty, it's quite hard to get the other stuff, the wonders. But we can plug in retainers for the +1 amenity in all of our cities. So that's worth 10 amenities there. Boom. Probably won't push us up to a higher amenity tier, but it will help, especially if we buy honey. Now 3 of our cities, thanks to this little happiness mod that we have that shows us, 3 of our cities are happy, which means they should be getting a slight boost to their yields. I believe it's a 10% boost for the first tier of happiness. You can see here, 10% extra production, from amenities, which means for every 10 turns that goes by, it's as if 11 turns have passed in that city. It's very, very powerful. Let's head up for mercantilism and civil engineering. Civil engineering is the next natural progression point here. We want public works so that we can build even more builders and we can hit our population boom. Okay, looking at Lyon, we're definitely kind of light on tile improvements in here. We did get our commercial hub. We're really strong on gold in this city. The shipyard would be an incredible advancement. It will take 42 turns unless we get some productivity in here. I will work on the shipyard. I need to get a trader in here. I need my cities that have good production to produce traders. Okay, there's knowledge of astronomy, and Bordeaux just got its industrial zone. We want those shipyards, but we need to build those traders. We need to get to our trader limit. So I'll start spamming out traders, and we don't have the gold to build traders in any other way at the moment. So we have to hard build our traders, which never feels good. It never feels good to have to hard build traders. So there's +5 gold from banks. We will be able to build banks when the time strikes. I'm going to go ahead and grab gunpowder for the +1 production to quarries. As we do have a few quarries throughout our empire, that +1 production will reflect a significant advance in our empire's yields and ability to sim. We've almost perfectly circumnavigated the globe. Traders are coming, and a lot of infrastructure is coming, which I'm quite happy about. All right, Aqueduct and Rennes, go ahead and get me a trader. It's like super high priority that we get those traders out. Traders are one of your most important pieces of infrastructure. Delaying traders is one of the worst things you can do for your empire, and I do it all the time. Ooh, I accidentally did a double end turn where I accidentally hit the end turn button as a turn rolled over, which called a double end turn. That was interesting. You know what? I'll just take it. It's not that big of a deal. So you got to be careful about when you hit the end turn. There's a perfect timing you can do where you accidentally end the turn twice. So we send a trader to Lyon. We want to trade with Paris from Bordeaux. We'll get ourselves another trader from here. We got a trader in Montpellier. We want to trade with Paris. We have all the traders we can afford. Let me have a look at this city. Let's get our commercial hub so we can get even more traders. We got a trader in Rouen. I don't know where my commercial hub is going in this city, but I definitely want one. I also want the armory, but I could also make use of a builder or two. We got a trader in La Rochelle. I think it's time we plonk down that industrial zone. There's a lot of production locked up in that, but before we get it, we'll quickly grab a builder in here. We do have a few tiles worth chopping and improving. Calais got its trade, its commercial hub. We already have a trader, so we will quickly grab a shipyard. I want you to send that trader to Lyon. I think I already sent one to Lyon, so that might have been a mistake. Good job, Isabel. You got a textile. I will take rocket scientist because disrupting rocketry can be a useful promotion. And we're just about to circumnavigate. We're on the verge of it. Yeah. The Gallic Empire is pillaging us. I'll move archers forward for the purpose of combat. You trade with Paris. I'll put a trader down in Calais because Calais could make use of it. We got the intelligence agency in the capital, which means we can send another spy. This one we'll send to Gaul. It would be good for us to finish or at the very least start building the commercial hub. It would also be great if we could get the consulate and the chancery. Those are buildings you can buy with gold, however. They're one of the few buildings you can build in your important capital city with gold, so that's what I will do. And then in the meantime, I'll work on that commercial hub. I need that gold ASAP. Bordeaux can work on a shipyard. It's worth 1 food, 3 production, and 8 gold. It's a fantastic building. Governor title. I don't think... Well, Reina could be quite useful. Pingala is basically maxed out. It might be good for us to get Embrasure on Victor, especially if we can get defense logistics for extra strategics. Certain strategic resources are very useful. Let's continue to steal techs. And there is the circumnavigation, +5 era score. I dream for a strategy game where you circumnavigate the world in both directions. There's musketmen. There's a +1 production on quarries. I'm going to move this crossbowman forward. I will shoot you and shoot you. Move this crossbowman forward. I don't think I have any more spare units that aren't currently occupying district for the purpose of +1 amenities. I'm going to grab printing for the +1 diplomatic visibility with all of the civilizations. That's basically a +3 combat score. Will the Gauls take white peace? No, he wants a bunch of money. He can go F himself. Calais, I want you to trade with Paris. Right, shoot this unit. This guy's in the water. Promote you to crossbow. It's important that we get kills where we can. You have double shot. Very powerful, +1 air score. And we can also get you garrison to make you scarier as well. Okay, university and completed in Amboise. This is a 13 gold bank, which is an absurd amount of gold. We're going to be getting that. We got the harbor in Dijon. Really need a trade route over here. So as soon as we have the room for a trade route, we'll be putting it there. I'll put 2 envoys into Zanzibar so that we can try to steal the suzerainty of it. Yeah, they're trying to siege La Rochelle, but I don't know if it's going well for them. I'm going to pull the courser out of the city and put the double shot, super promoted crossbow in here because he has like so much damage to where he can one turn an entire enemy unit. And with focus fire, we can slam dunk a few enemies as well. Shipyard completed in Nantes. The city now has absurd production, which is what we were going for. I will quickly grab myself a builder from this city because it could be used to improve our tiles. We got a trader in Rennes. Let's build a shipyard and we'll send this trader to Paris, get our sim up to a ridiculous degree. I'm also going to send a trader to Dijon. You found another city-state. It looks like it was a holy city-state, so we don't care too much about it. They want the boost for siege tactics. That's probably not going to happen. We are not worried. I'm a little worried about the city being under siege. There's the +3 combat strength, so we're looking at diplomatic visibility +3. That's really good. Focus fire. 75, 73. Damn, it's amazing how much of a difference that makes in terms of damage you do. All right, soften him up. Blast him. He's dead now. Shoot over the head of this courser who will hold and defend you. This guy's a bit of a problem. It's okay. So the next step for us would be the Garde Imperiale. I think that's what we're going to push for. We might be able to do a timing attack on someone, Greece, with fully promoted Garde Imperiales as cores. So we'll see what we can pull off there. We'll go ahead and trade with Paris for the production. We have a decent amount of niter, 5 per turn, which is quite powerful. And we can sell off quite a bit of stuff. All right, let's focus the damage from my double shooting crossbowman onto the line infantry on the left here. And then we'll focus our damage onto you since you're running past a city. And we'll also make sure that we take out this man-at-arms here. We need to get rid of all of the enemy units that are running through our territory. We got a builder in Rouen. We can get another copy of Incense to sell, so I'll send you off to do that. We can definitely schlep a little industrial zone on that tile too to push the city's productivity up to another tier. But we will get the armory now because we want this to be a military production powerhouse. We will also get our market in our commercial hubs. Beautiful. There's Yerevan. A lot of faith-based city-states on this map, which is not really the kind of game that I went for. I went for a mass settling, sort of try to dig our way out of the hole with pure stats, pure production, pure food. And I gotta say, it's kind of working. We had just enough military units to dissuade our enemies from coming and causing too much damage. I mean, they did come at us, but like they didn't succeed. That's the important distinction there. Right, so Adwatica, we are going to gain sources so that our spies operate at a higher level. Though before we do that, let's take technologists so it's better at stealing technology. We did meet a new player. It's an honor to meet you. Oh, no. We met 2 new players, which is big. Very useful, actually. 2 new trading partners with potential luxuries. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank you for all the luxuries. Now we've got mega happy cities. So finding other players is huge for your sim because you can trade with them to improve your empire. A builder down in here. Oh, there is actually a chateau tile. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that. All right, I'm going to start laying down encampments so we can start producing military units efficiently. And who is this? This is Mapuche. I'm going to talk to the Mapuche and see if they'll give me open borders so that I can enter into their territory and get some exploration off. All right, excellent. There's another plantation. That should be a luxury we can sell. 10 gold per turn. Thank you very much. Selling luxuries to the AI isn't that big of a deal because they already have huge multipliers. So a plus 10% resource boost to the AI doesn't actually matter as much. All right, let's gain sources in here so that we can operate our spies at a higher level, and we will continue to explore so that we can potentially find more city-states and more players to interact with. Although I think we have found all the players. +1 era score for completing a civic from the industrial era. This is civil engineering. We're instantly going to be plugging in public works to get the 30% production towards builders, and the extra 2 build charges is really nice. We do want harbor district adjacency now that we started to get some shipyards, plus the extra gold is really, really nice. So we're going to go ahead and schlep that in so that we can start to really, really pump our coastal productivity. I'm going to promote Victor up to tier 2 with Embrasure so that he can now train units. Let's start with a free promotion. That's excellent. Let's have a look at Athens. Athens. Isabel has leveled up. I will take counter spying. In case we ever want to use it defensively. There's +2 era score for reaching level max level with a spy. Blast this man-at-arms, please. Gather yourself a little experience. And we will build more production. Right, the exploration continues. And the exploration continues. Tempting to build a chateau right there. Chateau. +4 era score, plus we now have a 3 food, 2 culture tile. We got the commercial hub at the capital. Let's get the market for the trade route. I'll also lay down my life for a theater square. Market in Montpellier is completed. Let's get the bank for max gold chooch. Strong gold line is a war yield. Yeah, the biggest problem is that we started right next to the strongest player in the game. If we were sitting next to someone like Russia or Gaul, we would actually be able to take their cities with the Garde Imperiale. But the problem is Greece is going to have like super late game units. So we need to be playing for even later in the game than we have been, right? Because we're just, the player who we're adjacent to is just so strong that we're, the only way to really break these cities is with late game units. So looking at Athens, we have been stealing tech. Let's steal another tech. every tech we can steal is an injection of science into our future, right? You can see over here, we have just like random ass techs that have been stolen. We do need to build another spy. We also need to build another trade route. Finding production time in our empire to do that will be useful. We do have Bologna here that we want to make friends with. Let's have a look at the quests. Anything easy? Training a bombard, sending a trade route's basically impossible for Bologna. There's some more luxuries. All of our cities are happy. We will sell off any spares that we have. I'll also be selling off any strategics. Try and churn gold through my economy. Now I'm sitting on a lot of gold, and I think the thing to buy is a tier, the next tier of diplomacy building in our capital, the Chancery. That's going to be +3 influence points per turn, bringing us up to 12 influence per turn. That's a 33% increase. That's really helpful. We do see a frigate rolling around the coast here, which is annoying, but not impossible to deal with. You go ahead and drop a little farm right there. You drop a little farm right there. We got some really, really good farming land. The problem is farmland does not an empire make. Tell that to China in the, whatever century. Tell that to everywhere in the whatever century. And 2 and a 3. That is a rab and a kill, and another unit leveled up. So infrastructure is coming online across my empire, which is very exciting. There's siege tactics. We can build Renaissance walls as well as forts. We got our encampments in Nantes. I do think actually more culture would get us to things like mobilization a little bit quicker, and particular fascism. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up amphitheaters, archaeological museums, all that stuff. Boom, drop a little farm right there. Should definitely send someone out this way. Before I get the amphitheater, actually, I should get myself a trader. I also need to find time to build a spy. The industrial era ends in 10 turns, and I would say we've had a pretty successful industrial era. It's not the greatest one ever, but we've done a decent amount of work. Something I might do in Bordeaux, because the Gaul actually, as a civilization, are uniquely likely to build mines. There might be some stuff for us to pillage on their coastline, but I'm probably not going to bother doing that. It could be something we look into doing. In Bordeaux, I will quickly grab myself a spy. It's an 11-turn spy production. That's fine. It'll keep that city busy. But yeah, I wish I could pillage these mines. They would be extremely valuable. Okay, we can grab John Jacob Astor. Let's have a look at the overview on the great merchant side of things. Yeah, there's not really that great of great people. So I'll just take him. He will give us 500 gold and 2 envoys, which is excellent. I'm going to, well, we got the market of the capital. We'll quickly grab ourselves a trader. Amboise finished the bank. Go ahead and grab yourself a worker, a builder. We've got 2 envoys in the bank as well. I'm going to drop 1 in Taruga and 1 in Bologna because that will get us a small boost of science in both city-states. Probably should have equipped the thing that doubles the first trader you send, or the first thing you send. You know the thing I'm talking about. I'm trying to remember which cities have a trade route and which ones don't. Probably La Rochelle's trade route died, so I'll send it up over there. That is extremely hard to kill. Querussi. We'll need to throw the kitchen sink at him. He's a cuirassier corps. We have inner workings knowledge of Aduatica. I think gold stealing is really good, as is tech stealing. I think I'll go for tech stealing. I think being able to boost my way through the last techs of the tree will be really useful. I could chop here, but I kind of want the lumber mill. And this crossbowman always has the double shot. Yeah, investing into early crossbowman is actually incredibly useful. I will send this trade route to Paris. It's 3 food, 4 production. 3 food, 4 production is incredible. Continuing to explore the ocean. I do think it would be cool if, like, even just small islands generated out in the ocean with just basic resources and stuff. I think it is boring when the ocean is completely empty. I mean, I get that's the way the real world works, right? Sure, fine, but this is a game. We don't need it to be exactly like that. There's always random little islands off in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Ooh, Eastern Orthodoxy is coming back to my empire, which is good for our culture. Now, we got our lighthouse in Dijon. Let's get to work on that shipyard. I've got 2 envoys in the bank, and I want 1 in the stank, aka Zanzibar. I still think exploration units should get experience for uncovering map tiles. That is just something I'm like black-pilled on that one. All right, we got the shipyard in Lyon. The shipyard is incredibly valuable. 10 production per turn is absurd. We definitely want things like industrial zones, etc., etc., etc. The city is hitting its growth limit. It would be nice to get a builder in here. There are tiles to repair. It would be nice to get privateers as well, but they're quite expensive and we can't really afford to do that. Instead, I would probably like to get an encampment, and I don't mind crushing this tile for an encampment, honestly. But how badly do I want that extra insane gold? I think I need encampments long term to be able to sustain the type of military production that I'm going to need to win the game. I'm going to need massive, sprawling, unstoppable armies of doom. Go ahead and gain sources in Athens with my spy so that we can operate at a higher level when we actually operate there. And this builder will be able to get us a pretty effective chop, actually. I'll get this chop too. That'll chop at a builder. It's always worth it to chop at a builder with a chop, right? It's one of the fastest tempo building moves you can do is to use a chop with a builder chop to chop out another builder who can chop. Okay, count the number of chops in that turn, and now you know that we're in the churn, baby. We're not quite in the churn just yet. There's the industrial era. We'll end in 4 turns. Try to remember where this trade route needs to go. I'm going to assume that Montpellier does not have a trader. It probably did. Let's get another trader in the capital. We need to keep those traders pumping. We got the amphitheater in Nantes. We need culture. I will grab the archaeological museum. It's +2 culture per turn. Also, now that I have room for great works, I'm going to look to buy some. I'll sell off these. I'll buy these. I want to purchase great works of writing. Remember, every great work of writing that I purchase, in particular, from an AI that looks like they're going to win a culture victory. So let me pop in here. Pericles is probably the best person to buy them from. Pericles or Peter. So let's talk to Pericles and I'll be like, yo, dog, I heard you like great works. What do you want? 40 gold per turn for 2 great works. Thank you very much. That's +4 culture per turn for us. We don't want them for the tourism. We want them for that culture. And that is a lovely amount of culture right there. 6 culture per turn or whatever it's amounting to be, especially because it's in the city with Pingala, right? Huge culture boosts in there. Amboise has finished building its campus, its commercial hub. I think it's time that we started getting an encampment in here. I will put a mine on that tile to give Dijon extra production, and can't build a chateau here, which is kind of interesting. I wonder why not. We can't build anything there. Yeah, our tiles are mostly improved. Mostly. All right, looks like a city-state declared war on us. That's fine. +3 era score for having a high adjacency industrial zone. We got progress towards urbanization, as well as access to military academies. We can build the Garde Imperiale, but we're going to want our military academies first. That gives us a huge combat experience boost for all land units trained in the city. Strategic resource stockpiles are increased by +10, and corps and armies can be trained directly. Corps and army training cost is reduced by 25%. This is just a massive production boost towards military stuff. I think a tank timing. Like, we might have a tank timing depending on if we find oil. If we don't find oil, we chose wrong, and we should feel bad. But yeah, we might be able to make a tank plus artillery push work here if we find oil. If we don't find oil, it's going to be a sad day. Coming into Rouen, we finish the armory. The next up, we go for the military academy. +4 production in here is very significant. It does have +1 housing on it as well, but we want that production. La Rochelle got its industrial zone. I also need a builder up here. I would like to piece out Gaul, but he wants a ton of gold, so I just don't want to give anything to an AI I don't have to give to them. So I'm happy for him to stay trying to like kill us or whatever. Like, that's up to him. If he wants to keep fighting, he can. I'll move this trade route to Amboise. Does Rouen have a trade route? I don't remember. No, Rouen does not. I will move one there. You know what I can do? I can actually purchase this military academy for gold in Rouen to turn it into a production powerhouse. Okay, we wasted 1 turn of production. That's not the end of the world. There's +3 era score. Plus, we can come in here. Now, I could start training Garde Imperiales, but we don't have nationalism yet. Instead, I'm going to work on my industrial zones, because if I get those industrial zones out, this city's production goes to the moon. Montpellier managed to get its bank. We could definitely make use of more culture. And a theatre square does represent a huge boost in culture, as does an encampment, at least the culture of militarism at least. Theatre square is half price due to the discount mechanism. If we look at our city overlap screen, there could also be arguments made for entertainment complexes in some of these locations. The amenities would be incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're talking upward. This would be 3 amenities in Montpellier. If I were to put it here, it would be 4 amenities in Montpellier, 1 in Dijon. That doesn't seem particularly important enough to me. So instead what we'll do is we will just go for the encampment for the purpose of militarism and pushing military production through. Calais is kind of in a unique position in game and in the real world where there's nothing we really want to build in here. You could make an argument for a campus, but instead we're going to go for our market and bank. Gold is the sign of nobility. I'll send a trade route to Paris from Amboise. I know I meant to move that to Rouen, but we will get more trade routes when the time comes. They will be sent in the appropriate directions. Chop here, finish that shipyard sooner. Yeah, some of these cities have had to languish under the thumb of the French Empire for a very long time without much in the way of of stuff to see for it. Okay, another trader has been completed in the capital. I think it's time that we actually need to build this city up in order to make the trade routes to it even more profitable. So we'll quickly grab ourselves an industrial zone. That's going to give +1 production to every city that is trading with the capital, and every city is trading with the capital. So that's a really nice outcome. Keep getting mines. Mines are just too damn good in this game, it feels like. +1 golden culture isn't bad. I think I would prefer the food, the growth. Grow. Return on investment on growth is really, really strong for me. We are in the modern era. That makes the modern era technologies and civics cheaper. Greece is in a golden age, of course they are. We are going to go for Heartbeat of Steam. We can get a lot of era score out of industrial era buildings. In particular, things like the military academy, the factory, the coal power plant, all of this stuff that we will be going for. Maybe worth it to zip up for industrialization. It is only 2 technologies and we can boost it. Yeah, maybe we'll go there. Set a trade route to Paris. That'll shave 2 turns off of that industrial zone. Beautiful. We got our encampment in Lyon. Let's make sure we get our gold sim just absolutely churning. I'm really, really looking forward to getting our stock exchanges. It's going to be like just godlike gold income. It's going to be absolute cinema. World's Fair. I'll vote that up once. I don't care about Diplo Victory, so I'll vote that up once. I don't care about double Great Admirals. You know what? Double grievances against me gives me another era, gives me another cycle to be safe from other players, because it means if anyone declares war on me or does stuff against me, I have a little bit more time to get myself together. Now, with nationalism completed, we can build ourselves another spy. We can also get Grand Army, which allows us to build almost all melee anti-cavalry and range units faster, and we also get national identity. But nationalism is really powerful for being able to combine units together. Next up is mobilization. However, before we get mobilization, it could be worth it for us to grab natural history. There are archaeologists in there. There's also the regional zoo buildings, etc. Stuff like that can be really, really big. We have another spy. I'm going to go ahead and move this spy to, let's see, I think Greece is a good target. The more damage we're doing from Greece, or the more we're leeching off Greece, the better, because that sets us up for a potential attack on them. I'm going to promote Amani, and I'm going to put Amani into one of these city-states. Which one is most important to me? A lot of amenities from Zanzibar here. So Amani, you are just going to be in there in Zanzibar doing your work. Bordeaux completed a spy. I would love to get me more encampments. I'm going to grab the workshop real quick. In fact, I will just gold buy the workshop, hard build the bank, and then I reckon it might be time for the encampment. La Rochelle built a builder. Let's go ahead and repair this. We can drop some farms. It's fine. Shipyard completed in Rennes. I do believe we want the bank as well. We want all of that gold. It's so much gold. 13 gold per bank is an absurd amount. God, there's so many of the wrong kind of city-states in this game. All right, Delphine has steel technology. I'll take linguists so they operate faster. Having a really fast spy operate at a higher level is quite useful, actually. Go ahead and steal technology again. We want to get you leveled up. Commercial hub. We can repair the market now. Go ahead and keep repairing. Repair the market. Me when I'm the Federal Reserve. All right, Fukushima. Go ahead and do open borders with Japan. We want to do open borders with Japan because we want to explore their territory. Remember, we're going to kill the world. So we need to know where their cities lay. This is like Von Moltke going on holiday in Belgium to prepare for the Schlieffen plan. Or I can't remember who did it, but it was one of those guys. All right, let's get our stables and our armories and our military academies. Oil is going to be like big for us if we find it. Me when I'm America in the early 1900s. All right, Paris. Keep getting those trade routes going. Our sim is incredible, I reckon. I want to steal techs from Athens. Archaeological museum is finished in Nantes. We can't yet build archaeologists. That's fine. We just wanted the culture from this. We'll quickly grab our bank. That's going to be 13 gold per turn, which is incredible. We have an insane gold line that we can make use of. Let's grab the bank in here. Remember, these banks, each bank is worth 13 gold, as well as the really powerful great merchant points. So our gold is insane. Dude, what are you doing here with these warrior monks? Get these womos out of here, bro. I don't want to deal with no womos. You know what? I actually, I just had like a kind of a messed up thought. How many of you would you play? I know, you know what? I know all of you would play this game, okay? If somebody came out with like stereotype civilization, okay? Where it's like, okay, you got the Irish pub civilization, Israel is led by Shlomo the whatever. What's his name? America is Burger McAssault Rifle. Russia is Vodkovsky Wife Beater or whatever, right? You got all these. Take all the stereotypes in the world. 100% every single one of you would play that game. And I don't know why. I don't know why I know that about you. There would be memes made about this game if it existed. And I'm really sorry, but I think now that I've said that out loud, I think I've actually just kind of summoned it into existence, and I really apologize. But let's go ahead and build that entertainment complex. It will allow us to develop really, really good stuff. Also, it'll also give us +1 food to trade routes sent to the capital city, which will be dope as heck. Grab the stables. Armory. Dijon has got its shipyard, which is fantastic. I reckon it's time for encampment here in Dijon. We need the production. We need to be able to patrus. We need the ability to be able to patrus units. You know what I'm saying? Patrus. Patrus sounds like a person's name. It probably is. But it just sounds like someone was trying to call someone Patrick or Patrice and f***ed it up. Hey, how's it going, Patrus? Repair that. It's probably a good idea to make sure our districts are repaired. Rouen has got an industrial zone. Excellent. I will purchase the workshop. Then I want you to work on work. So your job is to pre-build knights for me. Knights can be upgraded into tanks. Tanks can be turned into badasses. All right, we'll get the bank in La Rochelle. Our gold line is absurd. We found all of the city-states basically on the map. I will put 2 into Taruga. That will get us +2 science in every building that it will benefit, which is a significant boost of science. It's a small amount, but it is significant. Babette here has leveled up. Rec and Linguist is a great ability. You level up faster, you attack faster, you do all of your actions faster with Linguist. Linguist is one of my favorite improvements. It's bad for gold stealing because gold stealing is based on the amount of gold that is produced in the city over time. So oddly enough, you want the gold steal to be slow so that you steal more gold in one punch and people are less likely to notice it. There's colonialism, which does get us +1 production on our fishing boats, which is significant. Now, something that we definitely want to plug in would be maneuver to produce cavalry units faster. It's just not really on the cards at the moment. So we're going to go natural history into mobilization into fascism, so we can go to totalitarianism and kill the world route. I'll put 2 more envoys into Bologna because that's another small bit of tech that we can grab. We definitely need to be looking into how to get more culture. Gain sources in here so that you operate at a higher level, you could steal more stuff. Chateaus are probably going to be a good way for us to boost our culture. All right, there's industrialization. We have factories, we have coal power plants, we have access to coal. Did we get lucky? Did we find coal? It does not look like we got lucky. I am not seeing any coal here. All right, I managed to get coal inside my borders, but yeah, it's right there. That's a pretty grim place for coal to be, especially in the middle of a war. All right, let's go straight for oil. Praying to God that we have oil. Coming into Paris, we're going to immediately purchase the factory, which would be +3 production to all cities within range, and the coal power plant, which would be +5 base production to the city itself. So we're up to 50 production in Paris, which is a hell of a lot of production. We've just unlocked bombards. I'm going to go ahead and delete this ironclad so that we have a non-zero amount of coal, so we can at least produce 1 coal power. And in my capital, I will get the arena and the bank going so that we can set up for the big AoE amenities thing. I do need to double check. I could buy great works. I don't necessarily want or need to. Instead, what I want to buy are luxury resources. Boom, give me those. And we'll sell off more. Okay, +2 era score for consuming coal for the first time. We've acquired satellites from Textile. Oh goodness, that is a scary unit right there. If you retreat to here and I get this cuirassier here, and I can upgrade him to cavalry. Okay, bank completed in Rennes. Natural next step, get that encampment. Encampment is great for flat unit production. We got the armory. Let's get that military academy so we can start producing units cheaply. We want a big, angry military. Athens is ready to be stolen from again. We are stealing all of these tech boosts. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm seeing aerodromes from them. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. If my Guard Imperials would only be hitting right now, and they already have the airports to deal with it. So it's going to have to be a late game artillery push with oil well, honestly, I don't know. It depends on if we get the resources. That's really what it comes down to. If we get the resources, we get the resources. If we don't, we don't. All right, let's start getting our stables and all that sort of jazz. All right, Calais got its bank. I will use it to get a spy because we don't have another particularly good use for that city. I am going to pump envoys into Granada. We want Granada because Granada can provide up to +6 production per encampment. This crossbowman just got expert marksman. Move this one forward, shoot him, kill him. All right, that's that wrapped up. We got some era score for killing him. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate that we got kind of boxed into the corner by the strongest tech player in the game. Arena is completed in Paris. I'm going to use my gold to buy the zoo, as that will provide AoE amenities. The zoo provides +1 amenity to all cities within 6 tiles of this, and that should be probably like 5-6 cities, depending on the exact spacing between them. In my capital, I'm also going to go ahead and grab the theater square because we need that culture. The more culture we get, the faster we get the fascism. The bank has been completed in Lyon. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves stables so we can start moving towards the higher tier military buildings. Our gold per turn is incredible. 500 per turn. Really, really valuable. Has been giving us great agency. It's been fantastic to have this much gold. It's really, really nice to play a high gold game. All right, more and more of our encampments are finishing. So stable into armory. Stable boosts artillery and cavalry, which are the 2 best unit categories in the game. So, and it's like barracks are just strictly worse. Sure enough, the stable does cost an extra couple of production, but like the scale of difference and value just does not reflect how good it is. So Babette, we're going to do siphon funds because it's the safest mission that you can do to get leveled up. And Delphine, Belle Delphine has leveled up. I will take Ace Driver, really good tech stealer, has a high chance of stealing tech and also escapes pretty well. Okay, we have ballistics, that gives us cuirassiers. Cuirassiers are a little bit more expensive. That is fine. We got our bank in La Rochelle. It would make sense to get the factory and stuff later, but for now I want my encampment. It's time to start pumping up that military capabilities. We got our armory in Montpellier. That means a military academy is next. That military production will serve us well. Okay, we got a 1,000-year flood, 6 tiles improved, 6 tiles destroyed, 1 population killed. It's unlucky. There's +3 era score for a high adjacency theater square. We'll need to do some repairs in here. I will queue those up as soon as we can. My theater square has been completed. We need to get that entertainment complex repaired. Let's improve the armories. That'll allow us to store more military resources, but also allow us to build units even faster than we currently are. The return on investment of military buildings is actually quite high. Okay, Paris, you got yourself the arena. Do that. We got our stable. Armories are coming online. We got our military academy. That means we can start production of cuirassier corps. One day they will become cuirassier armies. We want to try not to let them finish until we have mobilization. Looks like we have found aluminum from city-states, and the AI wants it from us. City-states are a great way to get access to strategic resources you might otherwise not be able to get. Paris has finished repairing its arena. Let's get that zoo repaired. And Rennes got its encampment. We get the stable. All right. I'm liking it, man. We're gearing up for warfare here. All right, what do we got? Envoys. We definitely want to take Granada, purely for the military production capabilities that it provides us. Montpellier, trade with Paris, thank you, good sir. And continue to tech steel technology. Every single one of these late game techs that we boost, like look at that, takes it down from being 18 turns to 11 turns. That's so much science we're stealing from the AI. Big drought in the center of my empire. That's a little bit of a problem, but it's okay. Paris, we need culture to get to fascism faster. Didn't mean to finish this cuirassier corps. It's fine. We can't afford more cuirassiers. That's okay too. Instead, make me some bombards. We're pre-building for the war. There's our armory. There's our military academy. We want to repair the archaeological museum and then get the military academy in Nantes. In La Rochelle, we want to get the stable. We want to be strong and stable. Oh, nice. I got a builder in position. Chop there. That'll actually shave a few turns off the stable, which is really nice. You're also trying to repair up this land. Good job. Keep stealing techs. We need those late game technologies boosted. It's going to really help us because we have not invested heavily in technology, so we need to get our tech from somewhere else. Armory completed, military academy is going online, stable completed, armory is coming online now as well in multiple cities. Military academies are finally coming online, and we're getting really close to stealing suzerainty of Granada. In fact, we managed to break suzerainty, and so we might be able to get suzerainty of them. Now that's a +6 production boost. 1, 2, 3 adds to 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. That's 6 production in every single city that has a fully built encampment. That is a significant amount of productivity towards military units. And we also now actually have some coal, which is nice. Amphitheaters have been built, repaired, etc. We definitely want to get an encampment to the capital, or possibly even an airport. I will put a turn into a builder and need to move here and do some chopping and changing and all this sort of jazz. Claiming a great person. John Rockefeller is a huge pickup. 3 oil per turn. That's a guaranteed 3 artillery, which can do a lot. Trade routes gain +2 gold for each strategic resource in the city. We are doing internal trade routes, which is nice. With the military academy in Montpellier, immediately begin pumping out bombard corps. We need them. Right, this builder I will use to repair all the farms that got pillaged. Then I will quickly grab myself an art museum. I can actually buy, sorry, not an art museum, an archaeological museum. I can actually buy the thing, sell this, purchase these. I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to buy. I think the great works of writing. That's what I was going to say I was going to buy. Yeah, so we can buy we want to buy them from Greece ideally. That's a nice boost of culture there, bringing us up to 116 culture. We're only we're a few turns away from mobilization and not too far away from totalitarianism. John Rockefeller is great for war because that +2 gold on internal trade routes is huge. Urbanization is nice. Public transport could be a very highly useful thing. Neighborhoods could be useful too. Really depends on the appeal. My current appeal is pretty terrible, but we can make use of high appeal neighborhoods later on in the game if we wanted to. Right now we're using naval infrastructure. Okay, perfect. There's the armory. Let's grab the military academy. We got our spy down in Calais. I'm going to send this spy over to the red player, Japan. I'm going to steal text from him too. We want to be building up spy networks across multiple opponents. You can build a trader now. The city doesn't really need to develop much more, so I can focus it on the development of other things. How close are we to railroads? I could pick up railroads, but I want to make sure that we get oil first. Build me another cuirassier corps. Corps will be useful. Babette here. None of these are particularly good. I'll take seduction. Counter spy is a useful action sometimes. Okay, so this moment here, whether or not we find oil is going to change our game. So right now we're accumulating 3 oil from John Rockefeller. There's refining. Did we find oil? I do not see oil. We got computers boosted. We stole computers. Okay, oil. Oil. Okay, we got oil down here. Quickly get me a builder to build that oil. We got oil over here, so we're going to need offshore drilling platforms at Plastics to get that one. And we found oil over here. Yeah, it's huge. Okay, 2 copies of oil. That's big. We did it. We struck oil. You know what that means? It means Greece's days are numbered. It means artillery armies are going to be incredibly effective alongside tanks. All right, let's quickly buy an archaeologist because you need to extract an artifact to boost combustion. Plus, this will give us an extra little bit of culture. Successfully stole rocketry and escaped. Beautiful. Yeah, I love seeing a bunch of these late game techs boosted. It saves you so much science in the late game. Go ahead and steal a tech. Okay, we're officially in the kind of position now where we could start considering, like, we were setting up for a potential war. Now we're just planning the war. So we definitely want Muscat to survive. They're producing a huge amount of gold for us. Military Academy in Bordeaux has been completed, which means now this place can start contributing massively to the war effort. Bombard Corps, thank you very much. Alban will have to go over to Japan to steal their artifacts. But you know what? I'm cool with that, man. He might not be cool with it, but I'm cool with it. Ooh, I get to add a proposal that we were ravaged by a natural disaster. I didn't know your mom was called Natural Disaster. Oh yeah, he's on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He's untouchable. No, he is literally on fire. Somebody get a water extinguisher. Water extinguisher? A fire extinguisher. God, I'm dumb sometimes. All right, we're going to pop a water park district right here because we want the AoE amenities. Remember, amenities is production. Production is king. We have the encampment, we have the harbor, we have the commercial hub. I'm trying to think what else we could want in this city. Maybe a neighborhood. Like if we were really fooling around and trying to make like a super optimal cool city, we might do that. So how did this get pillaged again? I'm amazed. But the real thing that we want is yet more bombard. Military Academy in Rennes. The trader in Calais. I need to send this to a different city, don't I? I'll pop it into Paris. Paris could use a trade route as well. And this is what we're talking about. Now we can produce the heavy chariots. Yes, this is why you want to deplete your iron. It's a lot more cost effective to upgrade units from heavy chariots than to build them manually. Peter was ravaged. Oh, you know what? I'll vote up both of these. The reason why they're good is because the AI wastes a lot of production on gold and trying to fulfill them. Mobilization has advanced considerably. The World's Fair finished. We were bottom. Doesn't matter. It's not particularly important. We did get our first set of bombards. Let's go ahead and queue up more. We want to use up this niter if we can. There are worlds where you like destroy your niter tiles to build these faster. For my capital, I want lots of food. No food on the table, so we'll just trade with Bordeaux. All right, there's an oil well. Knowledge of plastics has been boosted. Oil income should be up a significant amount. There's another oil income. We're up to probably 9 oil per turn. I don't remember how much oil you get. I forget. Is it 2 per? All right, duplicates. Don't care about any of this, so I'm just going to vote once at the top option. Save our Diplo favor. Silver doesn't grant amenities. Great merchants are blocked. And Bjorks gets Diplo points. Doesn't matter. We got our archaeological museum by the archaeologist in the capital. Let's grab our banks. Water park in Nantes. I'm going to use my gold to get the Ferris wheel. That's +2 amenities in this city. Plus now I get the aquarium. All cities within 9 tiles we get +1 amenity. Boom. Beautiful. At this point in the game, the thing that matters is heavy chariot production. How many tanks can we crank out? We got a military academy in Dijon. Get me those heavy chariots. All right, Isabel has made it back to our territory. I'll just send you straight back to Athens. I'm going to want you in Athens running listening posts. The Diplo visibility will be incredible. We will have +9 combat strength over the AI. All right, there's lumber mills. I think I just heard the sea level rise. Yeah, it looks like sea levels hit. If stuff gets destroyed, it's not the end of the world. Lascarina Bubelina. Oh my God, this sounds like someone you would name in an anime. So any of our coastal infrastructure that gets destroyed, we're just going to have to eat and live with it. Nothing we can do about it. We have unlocked artillery. We've got 9 oil per turn. It's going to take a little while for us to finish building up all this artillery. All right, +1 era score. We also have mobilization. Mobilization is big because now we can go through to all of our cities that are building artillery cores and upgrade them to artillery armies, and the production is kept, which is one of my favorite parts of doing that. You finish your military academy. Build me a heavy chariot army, please. Build me a heavy chariot army. Build me a heavy chariot army. Okay, military academy completed in La Rochelle. Heavy chariots can be upgraded into tanks. That is the most important thing for you to remember from this video. All right, I want you to take... Quartermaster is a good one. The Ephesus spy has leveled up. None of these are particularly good. Recruit partisans is fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it either. Tech boosting. Boosting makes me feel good. Boosting, 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 boosting. Extracting an artifact has boosted combustion. Another major flood. You son of a gun. Boosting makes me feel good. There we go. Nice heavy chariot army combine. I got a combine harvester. We will gain sources over in Tokyo so that this guy can operate at a higher level. Combined arms has been boosted. There's more artillery. Let's move this arty up, and we want to upgrade this one to an arty so we can combine them. You, sir, have been punked by the thingy, which means you're not really going to be much of a military production facility until I can move that encampment. That's on me. I made that mistake. Why don't you go ahead and build me a water park for the AoE amenities. Heavy chariot completed in La Rochelle. Guess what we're building? Heavy chariot armies. I will get this city as well to build a water park to spread amenities down the coast. And Dijon will be building our heavy chariot armies. It's probably a good time for us to get some military engineers, but now is not the moment. Oh yes, we are preparing for the Giga War, the world-ending end war. Tokugawa, thank you for your artifacts. It's helping our culture push. I am worried about the fact that Greece has aircraft. I'm hoping I can pillage them and stuff. It doesn't necessarily guarantee a useful outcome if you pillage them. And I'm worried the AI's advantage in technology with aircraft might be too hard to push through, but worst case scenario, we get a stalemate war and we have to kind of go back to the drawing board. All right, let's repair this entertainment complex. We got our military academy down here. I'll produce a military engineer and a military engineer over here. About to start to hit the point where we'll need to start manually producing tanks, but that'll be okay. Okay, here we go. Combustion. I'm going to quick buy out of retainers. I'm going to plug in force modernization. My spy in Athens is going to create a listening post to increase our diplomatic visibility level. And then we're going to go tank, tank, tank. Oh yeah, this is what the future of warfare looks like, baby. Now we could go for plastics to try to push for more oil. 7 turns, and then we could get this oil right here. That is not a terrible thing for us to do. That'd be another 3 tanks, 3 artillery, however we want it, dealer's choice on how we wanted to split those up. Alternatively, we could go for flight. Alternatively, we could push for modern armor. My personal preference here is to follow a path that looks like this. We're going to go railroads, into flight, into radio for the aluminum, and then straight to jet bombers. But that's going to be it for me. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!